Can you open a place? I give you the money. Yeah, who's going to work the place? And we don't need money. We need people that work it.
Do you guys have a training program?
Everything. We have a whole training. It's hands-on. It's visual. It's verbal.
How do you encourage? How do you do quality control?
Well, they're supposed to, every department, because it's divided.
Yeah.
The kitchen is supposed to go every morning with a spoon. The person in charge that manages and tastes everything. But a lot of things that are made centralized. So one person, one area.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Wait, central, like not one central bakery though,
no,
right?
No. So we have a kitchen.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
That's made for the same way for all the stores. Instead of having 300 people doing their own version, we have a few people, chefs, working just on food, experimenting.
Are the bakeries going? How many hours a day is each bakery going?
24.
Really is, huh? How many employees are generally at each location? At each location?
Yes. And HR, how many people? Over.
Our corporate office has less than 50 people. So.
All of you guys?
Yeah,
accounting and marketing.
Still a lot though for, I mean, like six locations, right? Yeah. That's pretty intense.
So that's the problem. You need labor. So when you were asking me if we ever had any issues, never. But COVID was the first time that we had to really jump and do something different. We went from dining when they closed us to dine out.
Yeah.
Lines around the stores, people picking up. We did it in 3 days. We changed the whole computer system from dining to dine out. And then with the police calling us, you're blocking the traffic, the lines. Because it became so successful that there were lines on the street.
Wow.
There's a machine, all they did was take out. And now people are saying, why don't you go back to that?
I mean,
it's faster.
Still do takeout, but I mean, just a different process. Okay, so what does the future hold? And
we're gonna keep growing, more stores.
And is there family under you at this point? I'm not aware.
There's already like 3 or 4 other kids working in different capacities. And I'm hoping my daughter's at one point. I have a daughter that does marketing, writing.
Yeah.
She's writing the campaigns and stuff.
Yeah.
And I have another one that works in Amazon. And she already has 6,000 people on her. Wow. She's running the fulfillment center for Riverside.
It's a big deal.
And San Bernardino.
Now,
those are hers.
Would you dream that they eventually come into the business, or
if we can afford her? That's going to be the issue.
Wow.
Because I mean, she wants to be the CEO of a 500 company. I think once she accomplishes that, then she might want to come on board. She just wants to do it for herself.
I see where the motivation and the stick-to-itiveness comes from. That's pretty impressive.
She's a go-getter too.
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
She's not afraid of anything.
That's amazing. Fearlessness, man. That's crazy.
Like my mom was. From the very beginning, she was able to cover cost. And, after there 3 or 4 years, she told my dad, quit your job. Because now we're making enough money so you don't have to. He was working for Bandicamps.
Okay. So that's true. So he was working for Bandicamps.
So my mom said, let her go and come to work with me.
Did he pick up any tips there or any kind
because that was a factory. It was, and all he did was load up trays and put them in a rack.
Yeah. Yes, there wasn't a lot of learning to be done.
No.
Now,
what was funny was, funny story was, that she told me much later on in life that my father set up all kinds of job interviews for her at Bandicamps.
Yeah.
Because she knew how to decorate. And she said she did everything in her power to fail the interviews. Because she didn't want to work for anybody else. She comes from a family of women that were self-employed. Her mother had a business and her aunts did too.
Yeah.
So she's self-employed in Cuba. She comes here and does it again. So she did not want to work for anybody else. My father wanted her to get a job so we could have insurance. So she failed interviews after interviews, and she told him, you see, nobody wants it. Me. But she didn't tell him.
That she would take him on
she just continued doing her thing, and he finally realized that she had something going. So then he gave up and joined her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so this one's doing great. It's the only location. How did you guys decide to expand? What was the move where you're like, okay, we really need more locations?
Well, the biggest complaint we were getting were the lines and
Even
the
back
parking
then,
and the
huh?
wait. Same as now, lines, waiting, parking. So then Burbank was a baby step
Yeah.
to alleviate the problem. Now, usually when you open a new store like Northridge, they calculate that they're gonna lose, Burbank's gonna lose 15%
Right.
of their
Because
sales.
people don't need to drive.
So we
and
wanted to do that in purpose, to get this store a break. And then after that happened, a couple of years, we gained everybody, a bunch of new people that would not come in because of the lines and the wait. So we know that Burbank is going to get a big break. Once that other store is organized,
Yeah.
you'll be able to go in and it'll be more of a luxury experience, less crowds, less lines, because that has been done on purpose.
Yeah.
Northridge is meant to keep the Valley and Santa Clarita out of there. Same as we did with Burbank. We knew people coming from Burbank and the Valley, let's keep them away from Glendale. The same thing we did with Downey, let's keep them away from Glendale.
So how come you haven't expanded faster? Because
At the beginning we didn't. So we opened, the first store 2005 was in Burbank.
That was 2005.
Yep.
Was this? Wow. Okay.
So that was their learning curve.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to go from a mom and pop
Hold on, but it took you guys 20 plus years to even figure.
from 1976
Almost there.
to 2005.
Was there discussion? How long was?
Because we were little kids, we had not graduated. Things started moving the moment we all got our degrees, and we joined the family business full time.
Wow.
And then my brother was a business major, and he was like my mother, all about business. And so then we started taking classes and talked to mentors, and decided that we wanted to duplicate this. So we needed help. We needed to break down the bakery into areas, and then once you divide to conquer, each area has managers, supervisors, leads. You can duplicate. Front of the house is one bakery, one area. Back is another area, and they're all divided. So we did it in Burbank. Now we needed to delegate ownership to managers.
Yeah.
And that is the hardest thing you do
Of course,
when you're a mom and pop.
Your
Mom and pop, you have
somebody outside the family
your hands,
too.
Exactly. Once that happened, 2005, then I think Downey was 2010.
Because Ariana turned 21 the night of the grand opening.
For which one?
Downing.
So once we got down, the problem then becomes finding a spot that meets their blueprint. So when we bought Downey, it took almost 5 years. But then we got West Covina and Buena Park at the same time.
Okay.
The two lands, we bought them.
And at no point you're not at that point. You're not like we're expanding too fast.
We're just gonna get the land.
Okay.
And then 2 years after West Covina, Buena Park opened. 2 years. And then this one took longer. 2 years to deal with Sears Auto Shop, Auto Club, to be able. We have a lease there now,
Right.
like a 50-year, 40-year lease. Options to buy, but we own Downey, Buena Park, and we own Glendale and Downey. We were looking into Torrance. We're not able to find a place. So the biggest challenge now, for a while, it's not us. It's finding locations with enough parking, close to freeway access.
Yeah.
Like I said, my brother
check
wanted
all the boxes,
Culver
yeah.
City, Torrance. We haven't been able.
Wow, that one.
We would not be able to find. We haven't been able to find a place.
Or the South. Well, I guess South Bay Torrance right there, West Side.
Yeah.
Oof, wow. But
So
so
you
you
can't
got.
go to Santa Monica. They're too expensive.
Oh
I
yeah.
gotta find a place.
Venice. But okay. So how at this point, how aggressively do you want to expand?
Well, he wants to keep going. There's something already that he's working on that
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to talk about. But there's a bunch of things coming our way. So he's not standing still. There's other people running the bakery, so his job is to
I'll
go
put this.
My mother knew that as long as she could pay the rent.
Yeah.
Remember, by the time that she opened in 1976, her first location, she had already been in business for 5 years.
Right.
She had a huge clientele. She had books for wedding cakes. She made appointments. So by the time they decided to open, she knew that she was able to cover the rent. This is the number one reason people go out of business. They want to sell cupcakes and they want to pay $5,000 in rent. The rent there was less than $300.
Wow.
And we had no employees. It was my father, my mother, my grandmother, free labor, and the 3 kids that came and helped.
Oh.
So there was no. So from the very beginning, she was making money. Day one.
What is up? This is your LA in a Minute, and I am here with Betty Porto, the daughter of Rosa Porto, the founder of Porto's, here at LA's most beloved bakery. And we are going to get into some anecdotes and facts about this amazing, amazing place.
Come on down.
Raul and Rosa Porto immigrated to Cuba from Spain in the 1950s. Raul found a job at a cigar distribution warehouse, and Rosa, who had a business degree, was an office manager at the cigar company. Life was good in their land of milk and honey. With Fidel Castro in power in 1959, both of the Portos lost their jobs. Raul was sent to a labor camp while Rosa was left to fend for herself and her 3 children. While caring for Betty, Raul Jr., and Margarita in 1960, the savvy businesswoman Rosa launched an underground baking operation in her house just to survive. Using her mom's recipes and a lone Sunbeam mixer, she would make yellow sponge cakes, meat pies, and other delicacies, while her clients would bring her ingredients to make the cakes, and she would pay with her government rations. It was a black market barter and trade operation. The police would come to raid houses, but the tight-knit neighborhood would protect Rosa, hiding cakes and baking appliances so she wouldn't get caught. The Portos lived this way for a decade before they were finally approved to relocate to the United States. They moved to Los Angeles because of the strong Cuban community at the time, and they lived in a small apartment near Echo Park. Rosa would bake day and night, and Betty said that she and her siblings would go to bed late because their beds doubled as makeshift cooling racks. With the money saved, some business savvy, and a $5,000 loan, they opened a 300-square-foot shop in Los Angeles at Silver Lake and Sunset Boulevard. It was only the family working there, and they were profitable from the beginning.
My mother, my grandmother, free labor, and the 3 kids that came and helped. So there was so from the very beginning, she was making money, day one.
This was truly a family operation. In the meantime, Raul had been working at Vandy camps, but the business was so successful that he too decided to join the business. In 1982, Rosa relocated the business to Glendale while the children graduated from college and immersed themselves in the Portos culture. Immersed in the diversity of Los Angeles, with Rosa's baking expertise and their prized testing kitchen, they began to expand the menu to reflect the multiple cultures and varied cuisines of Los Angeles and the world for one simple reason.
Listen, food is a thing in the world that brings people together.
That loyalty to the community was repaid with long lines in all locations and nearly all hours of the day. So those lines, no joke. Porto sells almost 1 million potato balls and almost 2 million cheese rolls per month. It's important to note that Porto's donates their unused food to first responders, troops, and the Union Rescue Mission nearly every day. So next time you see that long line at Porto's, just remember you're going to get that golden box at the end, and if you're lucky, you're going to bite into one of those potato balls. All right, LA, it's been a minute.